You know, probably the death of a spouse is one of the most difficult things any of us has to face, because our identity is so tied up in being a part of a partnership. And when all of a sudden, it doesn't even matter how many years you've been married, but many times the longer you've been married, the more difficult it is to face going on alone. And so thinking about the loss of identity and remembering that with people that you know who lose a spouse. They were a part of a team, and now all of a sudden they're not. And you know, people told me, oh, you won't get invited by your couple friends. I thought, no, that's not going to happen. Not me. And you know what? It did happen, because you don't fit the mold any longer. And so when they have a dinner party, if they invite you, they have to leave out another couple, and then they have an empty chair at the table. And so you find all these things happen because it's not the same as it used to be. And so there's a whole lot of loneliness and struggle to find out, who am I now by myself? I got married at 21 and was married almost 34 years. So my whole life was being pretty much a married person. And then all of a sudden you have to face that alone. One of my speaker friends did one of the most wonderful things for me, most simple things, but something that I want you to remember with someone who loses a spouse. I had been invited, this was about a year after Charlie died, I had been invited to a birthday party for another speaker friend who lived up in Evanston, Illinois. And I knew it was going to be all couples. I knew I probably wouldn't know anybody but the one friend and her husband. And I just didn't want to go. I was just really struggling with not wanting to go, not wanting to put myself into an uncomfortable situation. Kind of at the last minute, I thought, okay, I have an alternative here. I have a choice. And I decided that if I went for 30 minutes, I would make my friend happy, because I knew her feelings would be hurt if I didn't come. And by the way, I had to drive there by myself. My husband did all the driving, and I'm not good at directions. I don't even know right and left. So it was also a challenge for me to make that drive. But I decided it would mean a lot to her for me to come. If I stayed 30 minutes, then I wouldn't be as uncomfortable. And so I got there absolutely exactly as I thought. It was all couples and me, and no one that I knew except my friend. Well, about the time I was getting ready to leave, in came another couple of speaker friends whom I did know, and it was Davis Fisher and his wife Linda. And they came over and just kind of scooped me up, and they said, "Come on, Barbara, you're sitting with us." And they took me to the table, but instead of putting me on one side, they put me in the middle. And so all of a sudden, I fit. And it wasn't couple, 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 me, couple, 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 couple. But I was a part of a group. One of the things to remember when you have someone who's lost a spouse, first of all, include them. They need to be included. And secondly, when you do include them where there are lots of couples, make sure that you do something like that so that they don't feel like they're the odd person, the odd one always alone. And that will make a huge difference in their healing as they begin to see that they can function and that they are an important part of the world and can still make a difference. So think about what you would want if you lost your spouse, and then try to apply that to the people you know who are hurting.